Time now is 5:30. If we'd all stand, call the Leesburg City Commission meeting to order. Bow our heads for a word of prayer. Most gracious and eternal Father, we thank you now for this day to live in such a great city such as Leesburg, Florida. We thank you for our city council, our staff, our city manager, our residents who make the city of Leesburg so great. We ask you, God, to continue to let our businesses prosper, to bring great economic development to our city. We pray, God, for our country. We pray for those around the world who are fighting for our freedoms. We pray for our police officers, special prayer for them, our fire department who protects us on a daily basis, go in dangerous situations. We ask you to cover them. Father, we ask now that you grant us wisdom and understanding that we can make decisions that be beneficial for all those that are affected by what we do tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have a proclamation. Tonight is a Lineman Appreciation Day. I'd like to read from the Office of the Mayor of Leesburg, Florida, proclamation. Whereas the American electric grid encompasses over 5 million miles of transmission and distribution lines that deliver energy to homes, businesses, and churches, hospitals, and schools across the country. Whereas the grid and system of electric lines must be maintained in operation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, regardless of weather conditions, and must be capable of withstanding any hazards that may occur. Whereas that system is kept in a high state of readiness by more than 120,000 steadfast and skilled men and women known as electric line workers. And whereas electric line workers are a cohesive group that must function as highly effective teams in a field that has been ranked as one of the most dangerous jobs in America, responding to disaster areas and working in perilous conditions to restore power to homes and businesses. And whereas the line workers from the Leesburg Electric Department risk their lives daily, working in incredible, dangerous conditions to ensure the reliable and consistent delivery of electricity to Leesburg's homes and commercial enterprises. And whereas during the Atlantic hurricane season, Leesburg electric line workers remain prepared to work tirelessly day and night to safely and quickly restore power to not only our residents, but others across the state and country. And whereas it is most fitting and proper that the city of Leesburg set aside a special day to recognize Leesburg's hometown heroes, our electric line workers. Now therefore, I, John H. Christian, Mayor of the city of Leesburg, do hereby proclaim August 26, 2019 as Lineman Appreciation Day in the city of Leesburg, and call upon our citizens to particularly mindful of the dangerous work done under exacting conditions day in and day out by these dedicated workers, and to show their appreciation at every opportunity by recognizing linemen throughout our community. Let's give the linemen a hand. Some of you here tonight. Thank you. Appreciate you. Mr. Brad Chase, if you can come to the front. If all our linemen could stand so our residents and city council can see who you are, they'll risk your lives on a daily basis to keep our power working. Mr. Chase, thank you very much for all that you do. We'll come around. Pam wants to get a picture. So we'll come around. Where you want that, Pam? Here, is it? Yeah, come on. Where are we going? Yeah, Pam, kind of boss.
You know, I'm so good at doing this. Perfect.
Thank you. Here you go. Glad
Thank you, sir.
All right. Next, we have some very wonderful people that make Leesburg such a unique city. We have our certificates, our Miss Leesburg winners. I'm asked they will come to the front, and we're going to take a photo. It says for certificate of recognition presented to Gina Croft, Miss Leesburg, by the Mayor and City Council of Leesburg, Florida.
Nick, can you come around front?
You want individual or group?
You know, yes, our moms, we do.
You want a group picture or you want individual?
Group. I mean individual.
Okay.
And
But I'm thinking, yeah,
That's here too.
Next we have presented to Brooke Crenshaw. Congratulations. got Teen Miss Leesburg. You got it? Next is Junior Miss Leesburg, Alexis Farkas. Congratulations. This one I met her already. Our little Miss Leesburg, Rayleigh Yum Tav. Last but certainly not least, Miss Tiny Miss Leesburg, Paisley Burns. A group?
Yes.
Okay. All right, ladies, we're gonna do a group picture. Paisley. One more time, Paisley. Right there, right in the middle.
Turn yours upside down. Just, you can close. Okay, good deal.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank all the parents and our leader for continuing to do our Miss Leesburg pageant. And girls, we thank you for all that you do for Leesburg, all your volunteerism, and we just look for you to do great things, not only in Leesburg. When you leave Leesburg, go to college, you go wherever you're going to go. We just appreciate all that you do for Leesburg. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our consent agenda, where routine items are placed on the consent agenda to expedite the meeting. If the commissioner staff wish to discuss any item, the procedures as follows. Pull the items from the consent agenda, vote on remaining items with one roll call vote, and discuss each item by roll call vote. Is there any items you'd like to pull tonight?
None for me.
Mr. Robot.
4A1, 4C4.
4A1 and 4C4.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Nothing? Okay. You entertain a motion?
Move to approve all remaining items.
Second.
Move to prop second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Item 4B1,
A1.
A1, 4A1. Yes, sir.
I'll introduce and ask that it not be read. And move for approval.
Second.
I was just gonna ask that it's minutes, but it wasn't up to the standard of our normal minutes. I felt it was more of a summary. It's the first time I've seen that. It was very, and the rest of them were all very detailed, the other budget meetings, and I was just wondering if we could maybe get some more detail on that.
Okay.
I don't know. Pam has to answer that.
Andy
No,
does,
Andy.
huh?
Andy.
Well, you made a motion to approve it, right?
I did make a motion to approve it, and I don't even care. I would approve these if Andy's just
Why
gonna re-enter them, but I don't want to mess something up either.
No, why don't
I
you
wanna
table that motion,
Sorry.
and we'll do a rewrite,
Okay.
and then we'll bring it back to you at the next meeting.
All right,
And then
so-
that, you approved A 2, 3, 4. So just table this one, and we'll bring it back.
So withdraw
So
the
you might,
motion.
you would, and then move to table.
Okay. So, you're withdrawing the motion?
Withdraw and then move
All
to
right.
table.
Move to table, have a second?
Second.
Move to proper second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley? Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Item 4C4. It's a resolution.
Introduce and ask that it not be read and move for approval.
Second.
Move to proper second, any discussion?
This is the home improvement one, which I like. Some of them I wanted to just bring up for discussion as because this is a very different program than we've had, and then one maybe modification. So the one thing that I was a little uncertain about is that this allows for both interior and exterior improvements, and I'm a little unsure whether I want interior improvements to count because that doesn't give us the bang for the buck.
Right.
at least initially, maybe we could hit the low-hanging fruit on the exterior and then move to the interior maybe down the road if we still have other stuff. And then the other one, and this one I'm really kind of up in the air on, is it does allow roofs. Roofs are generally a kind of a maintenance thing, but a lot of stuff's maintenance, so I could go either way on the roofs. The interior was a little more concerned with. And then landscaping is allowed. We do landscaping on commercial. It's just, if we're going to do landscaping, how are we going to ensure that it's going to be maintained going forward? I would even be okay with staff's discretion on the type of landscaping projects. But I just think there has to be some consideration given, and not just, I want to do some new flower beds, and I don't know that's really what we're going for either. If it were a major project of some sort, maybe. And then the income threshold, I'm okay with prioritizing the low income, but I think we need to make it clear that we're only asking for income if you want the priority. If you don't want the priority, I don't think we care what your income is, because I think that would maybe discourage people that don't want to have a public document declare, what they're making.
On those notes, my suggestion would be to approve the program as it is, because everything you said is our intent, and all the grants are going to come back to the commission in any case. So for the next year or so, for inception, we'll just take that direction and prioritize and rank the grants accordingly.
The big one though would be the interior.
Unless you
I don't
can
want
strike
people
that.
just so people don't spend a lot of time filling out applications
For not getting it done.
and because they would have no idea that we weren't going to consider interior renovations when it clearly says that they're eligible. So I guess that I would make a
You
motion to
just-
amend to remove the provisions related to interior improvements.
But I don't really have a problem with the roofs per se. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but that's a lot of money sometimes, and people that need new roofs just can't come up with 10, 15 grand. And, that could lead to a whole host of issues in the home if you have a bad roof. But I agree 100% with Commissioner Roebuck on both. I don't think that our money should go to planting azaleas, and I don't think that it should go to painting the interior wall or revamping the inside of your house. So for me, I would want both of those struck.
That's a good point on the roof, on what they cost. Maybe a couple $1,000, because that's all you're talking about would be the amount to get them over the hump to be able to do it.
So are you okay with that?
Yeah, just add the landscaping
I
in there.
agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree too.
To
So-
remove landscaping and interior
Okay, so
improvements.
I would amend to do both of those.
So now under landscape, you also has tree removal. So if you have a big oak tree hanging over your roof, does that still say landscaping? If I got a dangerous tree in front of my house.
That's a good point.
So so I think we go back to staff. I think if staff tells a person when they're out getting the application, I got an oak tree that's gonna cost me $2,000 to take down, it's tearing up my house and my roof. Do we add that to the application and say we would like you to get that oak tree down? Hurricane season is coming, it may fall on your roof anyway, and we right back to square one. But I totally agree with the landscape. I just think a person can do their own landscape. You get $5 to plants and landscape without being in the grant process.
Well, but we don't want to get into lot cleanup either.
No, I'm just talking about like a dangerous.
No, I just said, I don't know how we'd have to write it I agree with that. I just don't want someone to get hurt from a tree or
I
a
think-
house wiped out.
The striking of landscaping and the striking of interior improvements, I think, is enough direction so that we can keep this running and not to get it too complicated. Again, anything's going to come back to you for approval. And at this stage, if it was a cut down this tree type of project, we wouldn't be bringing that forward anyway.
So does the staff, so like the commercial, when they come get application from Dan's office, does the staff have any interaction kind of giving them as people talk, when they come get an application, like a commercial application, have they actually ask you questions, what qualifies, and you give direction to what to put in the application before it? I would hate for have 20 applications come to us, and we're having this debate with 20 homeowners, where do we approve their application or not?
Dan Miller, Planning and Zoning Manager. From the FSL, the Facade Sign and Landscape Grant Program, people do come into our office. We sit down with them. We go through the process, the procedures. Then there is the process of having a committee meet and
Okay.
review, and then bring it back to you. I'm
Okay.
assuming, I don't know, Mr. City Manager, if that would be the same.
It will be the same.
We would like for it to be.
This would be through a couple of folks and a couple different processes, so we got your direction.
Okay. Mike, you have something?
No, I agree with all that. I had just one question or clarification. I know we spoke about this in the budget meetings. It says fee simple owner. I mean, are we doing rental properties, or is this just a person's individual home?
Right now, it's just individual home. If
I wasn't clear on that when I read
Yeah,
it.
wait, that's a good point. It should say owner occupied on the application.
okay,
Yeah.
Because you don't want
That's what I'm
people-
saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't want, yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Just so there's no confusion and someone doesn't get upset, I filled out this application. I'm the owner, but
gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission? From the public? Okay, roll call, please.
I don't think we had a second on the amendment.
I did.
Did you? Okay, sorry.
Commissioner Hurley,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. On the original motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Dennison,
We vote on the amendment, that's that first.
That's right. So I can turn this down?
You can vote no anytime you want.
No.
What are we voting on?
This is the original. this is
The
original.
amended motion.
Oh, okay.
and,
Okay.
Commissioner Peterson,
No.
Commissioner Roebuck,
No.
Commissioner Hurley,
Don't matter. Yes.
Gonna be a winner or loser.
Mayor Christian.
No.
I just want to be different.
You didn't have to
Well,
vote to
I
do
assumed I
that.
was the only one that didn't want to do it, so I wanted to get it the best way I could. But we proved it. I should ask.
Item 5A is public hearing, right?
Yes, sir.
It's the first reading. Would someone like to introduce it? 5A.
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, annexing certain real property consisting of approximately 0.56 acres generally located north of U.S. Highway 441, east of South Lake Avenue, and south of 2nd Street, as legally described in Section 30, Township 19 South, Range 25 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Any discussion on this item to lay over to our September 23rd meeting? All right, item 5B is also a first reading. Someone like to introduce it?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
An ordinance amending the comprehensive plan of the City of Leesburg, Florida, changing the future land use designation of certain property containing approximately 0.56 acres from Lake County urban medium density to City of Leesburg general commercial for property generally located north of U.S. Highway 441, east of South Lake Avenue, south of 2nd Street as legally described in Section 30, Township 19 South, Range 25 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Any discussion? The item will also lay over to our September 23rd, 2019 meeting. Item 5C is also a first reading.
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only, please.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, rezoning approximately 1.64 acres from Lake County C2 Community Commercial District and City of Leesburg CIP Commercial Industrial Plan to City of Leesburg C3 Highway Commercial for property generally located north of U.S. Highway 441, east of South Lake Avenue, and south of 2nd Street, as legally described in Section 30, Township 19 South, Range 25 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Any discussion? This item will also lay over to our September 23rd, 2019 meeting. We may need to go back and just talk about C4 for a moment. I think we killed the whole program with our no votes that we have. So is that was the intent of the commission, to kill the whole program?
I guess I wasn't clear what I voted on.
You had two votes.
I mean, I'm clear,
Your
but-
first vote was a series of amendments.
Amendments.
And,
What Dan
and that
wanted.
passed. So, and that was no for interior improvements, no for roof, and no for landscape. And then you
And
approved
others,
the
yeah.
amendments, and then when you voted on the entire thing, I
Right.
think everybody voted no.
Roof was in.
Except Hurley.
Huh?
Roof was in.
Yeah, the roof was in.
Roof was in.
And owner occupied.
So the second vote was the main motion, which would which has to be approved for the amendment to pass. So basically, when we didn't approve the main motion, it killed everything. Look at that.
Dan's like, yes.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure everybody was clear that what we were doing. And I think Commissioner Dennison, you killed the whole program too?
No.
Oh. Okay, so for how can we go back and vote on the main?
One of the four that voted in favor of the prevailing motion would have to move to reconsider.
Okay, so that'd be Commissioner Dennison or Commissioner Peterson. Would you care to
I'll
move?
make a motion that we reconsider
Okay,
C4.
As amended.
as amended. All right.
Second.
All right, so now,
Oh, I'm not gonna
I
be the
said I
weird
was
one this
confused
time.
with
Yeah, Jay, you stay where you at, Jay. Okay, so now what we're actually voting on is the main,
And what you're voting on is whether to reconsider it.
okay, so we got to vote on that first.
Yeah, well, you still got 2 votes.
Okay, so now we're voting to reconsider C4. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Now we're voting on the amended approval of C4
Sure.
A motion to approve it as
as
amended.
amended with the
To approve
changes.
as amended.
Yeah, we have a second. Okay, move to approve as amended. Any discussion?
I just would say, I think it's a good program. In fact, I pushed to get it included in the budget. However, I think we're spending too much money in the budget. I made that clear, I think, in budgetary, but because we as a board have decided to make some other priorities, even though I think this is a good program, I think we need to be thinking about cutting the nice to haves, which this to me is a nice to have.
Any other discussion? Getting more discussion from the public? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
No.
Commissioner Hurley,
Still yes.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. All right, so that passes with the changes.
I'd like to move that Commissioner Roebuck stop with the amendments.
Item 5D is a resolution appointing members of the Leesburg Police Pension. Someone like to introduce it, please.
Under accessory by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, appointing 1 member to the Leesburg Police Pension Plan Trustee Board for a 2-year term to expire December 31st, 2021, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
And I get we
Put a
need to make a
name
motion
in.
that appoint a specific person, right?
Yeah, it looks like we got to put a name in.
Yeah. I'd,
You need 2 names.
2 names,
just
Wait. No, just
Somebody's
one.
name.
One name.
and the options are,
I make a motion to appoint William Boland,
okay,
which my thought is his PhD in accounting, and that's like the #1 thing for a pension board.
okay.
I don't know him, but
Do we have a second on that?
I'll second it.
All right, any discussion? Discussion from the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Roebuck,
yes.
Commissioner Hurley,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item 5E is also a resolution appointing 3 members to the planning and zoning. Would someone like to introduce it?
I'll introduce it.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, appointing 3 members to the Leesburg Planning Commission and providing an effective date.
All right, so. We have 3 members we need to appoint. We have quite a few applications. Has everybody read the information at the bottom? It says Argento does not seek reappointment, Miller does not, Townsend seeks reappointment, alternate member Craig Brown does not seek appointment to a regular position. His term expires, he's an alternate
Yeah,
September 30.
21.
21.
Yeah, that's 2021. We reached out to Mr. Brown just in case, sometimes we promote the alternates to the full, but in this case, Mr. Brown didn't want to. So that leaves you with Mr. Townsend and then the list of 12 names, of which Mr. Townsend is one of them.
Are any of these people here tonight? I'd like to hear them, please.
Okay. Let's go in order. Is Mr. Stephen Berthney here?
Yes.
Yeah, can you come just introduce yourself? You want to just introduce themselves and tell us why they want to be on the planning?
Exactly.
So you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit why, maybe a minute or so, why you want to be on the Leesburg Planning Commission.
Microphone.
Microphone is all yours.
Yeah, my name's Steve Bernath. I live over on Sunnyside. I've been in Leesburg for about the last 4 years, a little over 4 years. Finally settled in to where I'm trying to understand the city. Previously, I've been in high-level management positions, and I'm currently on our HOA board. So I'm familiar with some of the sunshine laws and things that pertains to. I've always liked to be involved in the communities that I've lived in. Where I lived up in New England, I was involved with the town hall and helping support those activities. Didn't have a specific role there when I did that. So really what I'm interested in is really continuing to grow with the city, understand the city better, and to help drive the city in the direction that meets with the statutes and ordinances and with the guidelines that the city wants to move forward for the citizens.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And Danny says see attachment, but there's no attachment. Is it missing on his application?
I think that was the resume, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's all I just want to know. I said see attachment, but it wasn't attached. Ms. Carter, I'm just gonna say Z. You can give us your whole name. You get up. Correct pronunciation of it.
Yeah, good evening, Chef Zishika Carter. Yes, Zishika Carter. I have been a lifelong resident of Lake County, and I have been a resident of Leesburg for 5 years now. And my objective anywhere I live is always to help make my city a great place to live. I love to positively influence the community and be hands-on involved. I think my voice is one of reason and speaking from a different standpoint for other members who are in the community who are not politically motivated, but just a family person. I have 2 children, a grown daughter and a young son, so we live and attend schools here in Leesburg. And I have also had experience on with a committee in the city of Tavares when we were developing Ruby Street. I had a business on Ruby Street in Tavares. So now my current involvement has been with, as many of you know, doing some hospitality industry improvements within the city, helping to get a workforce that's prepared for what's coming in the city. And I believe being on the planning committee will give a different a point of view, seek to objectify us in a wider view that we have now. And I look forward to, if chosen, to working with the other citizens here just to make this a better place to live. I believe Lake is great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I ask you a question? Do you live in the city of Leesburg?
Yes, I live in Beverly Shores neighborhood.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Is that a requirement of this board?
Yes.
To live in the city.
So we've got some that.
There's 3 that are listed marked with an asterisk in the packet. Those are addresses outside the city limits.
So they just
So that
off up.
wasn't, that wasn't clear in the application process.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Mr. Michael Fitzpatrick? Yes, sir. How you doing?
Michael Fitzpatrick. I'm over on Youth Camp Road, which is we have a small hay operation there in a residence, 136 acres on the very southern tip of Leesburg. We actually are the southern tip. I do have experience. I have a personal interest in planning and zoning. My experience is I have corporate banking. I've done a lot of real estate related lending. That was about 10 years experience there. About 25 years development, some tract housing, some vertical construction in the South Florida area. All of it was in Florida, mostly in South Florida, some in Central and the coast. It's a personal interest for me, and I realize it's a volunteer position, and I'd just like to come in and make a little bit of a difference if I can. especially since we're committed to the city and the Lake County area.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
sir. Mr. Alfred Halliday, the third.
Good evening. Alfred Halliday is the legal name. I go by Trey.
Trey.
Born and raised Leesburg resident. A few years in college I was in Orlando, but otherwise I was born and raised here, lived here my entire life. Spent the last 14 years in real estate, last 13 of those in property management. I like the direction the city's headed. I'd like to see that continue and be actively involved in that. I currently have a portfolio of over 150 rental properties, over 25 of them on Main Street alone. Large portion of that is here in the city of Leesburg. So both personal, professional reasons, I'd like to be actively involved in planning and zoning and the direction the city's taking.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Edward Hicks.
So, I just put 1193 Youth Camp Road, that's in the city of Leesburg. It started as not being, but it is. I just pulled the property tax bill.
Who was that?
Okay, Chair.
Okay. Who was it?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. I may be the sheriff's one up here today. I have currently a real estate license in the state of Florida. I've been licensed here for 31 years. I moved originally here in 1975. We had 8 children, 25 grandchildren. I live in Leesburg on the south end of town, and I've worked as a consultant all around the United States and appeared before many, many planning commissions. I've also held real estate licenses in California and in Maine, and I believe I can bring diversity to the commission by discussing a number of ideas and concepts that have been tried in other jurisdictions. Some have worked and some have not, and I hope to bring that kind of diversity to the commission. I live in a manufactured home community, a brand new one, Hidden Harbor, just to the south of town on US 27. But much of my experience around the United States as a consultant to developers has involved much broader application of housing and commercial use of properties. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Stuart Kaplan.
I'm going to decline my application.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your interest. Ashton Credell.
Am I disqualified because I do live in Leesburg, but I live in the Silver Lake area, so that's not in the town limits.
Yes.
City manager saying yes. It's not a. Sorry. Thanks for your interest, though. Jeffrey Wansett. Vicky Lingerfeld.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm a longtime resident of Leesburg, born in Lake County. I live just down the street, so I live here in Leesburg. Graduated high school here, raised 3 kids, 9 grandchildren. I'm in real estate, been in real estate for about 16 years. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy City of Leesburg. I want to be a part. The way you're going now is exciting, and I want to hopefully be a part of that and bring what I have in my experience to the commission. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Next will be John O'Kelly. Following Mr. O'Kelly will be Jerome Olson, and last Charles Townsend.
My name is John O'Kelly. I didn't know I had to make a speech here, so glad to be here. I've been around here since I was born, so a few years away in college and in the service of our country. I'm a custom home builder. I'm a real estate broker, and I've been involved in some of the development of downtown Leesburg. We developed these courtyard townhouses about 35 years ago next door to you, my brother and I. We also have several buildings downtown that we've brought up to good use, we think, and some of them we sold. I'm also a member of the Historic Preservation Board here in the city of Leesburg. So I was encouraged to come forward and maybe volunteer my service, and I think I could help you guys. I'm obviously very interested in downtown Leesburg as well as the whole city. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jerome Olson.
My name's Jerry, resident of the city of Leesburg for the last 32 years, live over in Fern Drive. Background has been in real estate for the last 30 years. Just came from the Villages, as a matter of fact. A lot of development there, a lot of growth, and I've seen and been a part of it happening there, as a matter of fact. So I thought I could help. I'd like to put my hat into the ring. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Charles Townsend is here. Okay, Commissioner, I know you have a very difficult task at this moment. I think our city staff put a newspaper ad out, and as you see, we threw a wide net, and we got a lot of great candidates, opportunities for our city. So I'll leave the floor open to the commission on your wishes.
Well, my first one would be Mr. O'Kelly. I'd like to appoint Mr. O'Kelly.
I'll second that one.
Got anybody, Mr. Anderson, that sticks out?
Yes, Mr. Hicks.
Yes.
I just nominated you.
Any other names that stick out? I'll make a second on that name, or want to throw some more in
It's
there?
Michael Fitzpatrick and Trey Halliday.
Well, if we can do two, I also want to keep Mr. Townsend on there. He's done a great job serving the city a long time.
All right, I'll make my second two. Number two.
Number two.
Ms. Carter.
Carter. Okay, Carter. Okay. Okay, so we have 6 people that we've kind of rose to the top. Mr. Townsend. Mr. O'Kelly does have a second by his name. Hicks, Fitzpatrick, Holliday, and Carter. So we're gonna narrow the 5 down. So we got Mr. O'Kelly with a second by his name already.
Yeah. So if you would, I would suggest that you whittle that 6 down to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then
have an alternate.
Yep, so you've got Town, O'Kelly, Hicks, Fitzpatrick, Holliday, and Carter.
Well, I'll second Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, the decision was that is in city, right?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
Everybody you're voting on is in the city.
Okay, thank you.
May I second another person or just one?
No, you got to pick from that
Yeah, you can
6.
second one of the people in this.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
so from Commissioner Hurley's statement, that I'm picking Fitzpatrick out of that group to be slated as one of the 3.
Okay.
Unless you can't narrow it down more, and we got to do it again.
I think someone said.
And Mr. O'Kelly had a second.
Did
Well, I
Miss?
seconded O'Kelly.
O'Kelly.
Be sure
Okay, you got O'Kelly.
O'Kelly on the list.
And I'll second Carter.
Okay.
So that'd be 3. Anybody
Okay.
got anybody else we want to put? Narrow that. We got 3 right now.
You got 3 now, unless you want to narrow it to 4 and then
Do it again.
Who's the 3 now?
Fitzpatrick, O'Kelly, and Carter.
So, okay. I'd like to put Halliday into the mix. So Townsend's not on the list?
Not in the 4.
Not
We
in
got
this
4
one.
now.
Yep.
O'Kelly, Fitzpatrick,
Carter
Holliday,
and Holliday.
Didn't Townsend the chair this year?
No,
No.
Ted Bowersox
Bower,
is the
yeah.
chair.
I thought he was good. Oh, that's what I meant. Okay, I'm sorry. I retract. I was on Ted Bowersox in my head. I don't know why I said Townsend. So,
So we have 4. Everybody good with the 4?
Everybody good with the 4?
what's the 4, please? One more
Okay,
time?
so now from the 4, we'll go to 3. And the 4 is Fitzpatrick, O'Kelly, Carter, and Holiday.
We should probably just go around and have everyone rank their top 3.
Yes.
Or give their top 3
Why don't
because
we-
then you'll.
why don't
you
we
should be able
do
to figure
that?
it
You
out
can just do
from
marks
that.
beside their names. Write the 4 names down, just make hash marks as we call their name out.
Yep, got it.
Yeah.
That work?
Yep.
Say that again, please.
So each of the commissioners is going to vote on their top 3 from
Right.
the list of 4,
Right, what was
which
the
is
fourth?
Fitzpatrick, O'Kelly, Carter, and Holiday.
Okay.
Patrick, Halliday, O'Kelly, is there?
Roll call.
Okay, for Ms. Carter, Commissioner Peterson,
No.
No, you got to pick 3.
I can
Oh.
pick 3? Okay, I've got O'Kelly, Fitzpatrick, and Halliday.
Fitzpatrick, O'Kelly, Halliday. Okay, Commissioner Roebuck,
O'Kelly, Fitzpatrick, Holiday.
Fitzpatrick, Halliday. Commissioner Hurley,
O'Kelly, Fitzpatrick, and Holiday.
Commissioner Dennison,
O'Kelly, Fitzpatrick, and Carter.
Mayor Christian.
Carter, O'Kelly, and Fitzpatrick.
Okay?
So we do one more thing. Can we interrupt this before we make it final?
Yeah.
By asking a question?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, can you come back up?
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir.
Can you give me a little more direction on, you said this is personal for you?
Yeah, I've always wanted to give back to the whole thing. I've been doing it privately for a number of years. I've worked for Bank of America when I was discussing the real estate lending and several large developers. I'd like to be on the other side for a change and kind of plan something that's going to make a difference.
How do you
And that's
feel about the
reason.
development that's coming your way right now?
You know what? It's a kind of across the farm, so to speak, from me, and mixed feelings. As long as it's done right and it adds to the community, I'm good with it. There's always going to be a little encroachment. I mean, there's always going to be a few toes that get stepped on a little bit, but what's better for the whole is really where I kind of like to see it, anyway, for that. So it's mixed feelings, Mr. Hurley. Be quite straight, quite straight. We do like it out there, and
Sure.
there's something to be said for that too. Okay.
Okay, thank
Anything
you.
else?
And I guess for me, it was more of diverse planning and zoning instead of having 6 realtors on the planning and zoning to get people who kind of looked at it from a different angle. So that was my thing. I didn't want to.
I agree.
Yeah. So that was kind of my thing with going with Miss Carter because I think she brought a different perspective than. So that was just my take. So I think we got 3.
Yes, sir. We don't we need an alternate?
Don't we need
Because
an
our
alternate?
No, you don't. Mr. Brown remains your alternate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He just didn't want to apply to be on the board.
Let me ask you,
Right.
can I,
Go ahead.
so
Sir.
are we limited to how many alternates? Because so far, out of the last 3 meetings, they've almost not had a quorum because the alternates are not showing up, and they've been running on a shoestring out there.
In the past, they have had 2 alternates. It's been a long time, but there's a precedent for that.
There is?
Yes.
So you could add an alternate.
Especially given that he didn't want to apply for the board.
Yeah.
Could we, Ms. Carter, where's she at?
I would pin, if there's nothing in stone, I would just pin 3 and get into that too, because that's what the terms are. You good with that?
Yeah.
You don't have to come up. I just want to ask you, would you be interested as an alternate?
Yes, I would.
So
Yeah, I was just going to add one more thing, because it's not a specific item, but as Mr. Morrison, because there's precedent, I would just pin a 3-year term onto that so we know when to roll it off, because the terms for the commission is a typical 3-year. So your motion would be to fill the terms with Fitzpatrick, O'Kelly, and Holiday as noted. Their terms are 3 years from today, and then
make a
Ms.
motion for Ms.
Carter
Carter to
for
be an
a
alternate,
3-year
for a 3-year
alternate term.
term.
Yes.
So I'll make that motion.
Second.
So we have to insert the names into the resolution.
Yep.
Yes.
And so the resolution before you now would be a resolution to appoint those folks, with the addition of Ms. Carter as an alternate for 3-year terms, which would end, we got 22.
22.
And how does it work if somebody, a full-time person decides to drop off? Like, could the alternate be appointed to that?
Well, you would appoint the replacement. The historical practice has been to elevate an alternate to that post because they're typically familiar with what's going on from it being at least some of the meetings, but that's not a binding precedent.
I don't think that answered your question.
It did, because
If a member, if one of the 7 is missing, the alternate serves in their position and has voting rights.
But
if one of the 7 resigns before their term, that alternate would serve in their position until the commission appoints a new member, which historically is the alternate.
Okay.
So how do you know which alternate votes that meeting?
We'll go by seniority on this, probably. So if we're missing one member, we'll use Mr. Brown and then Mrs. Carter. If Mr. Brown can't do it, then we'll rotate to Ms. Carter. So we'll go a seniority system. If there's 2 members missing, they both would serve.
I'm still trying to learn the ropes.
And then the other thing, mentioning the absenteeism, because they meet, what, 12 times a year, I guess?
They meet the same as you, twice a month.
Okay.
They're first and once a month.
Once a month, twice a
The first Thursday, right? Third Thursday.
Yeah.
What I would ask is that annually, maybe during our organization, you could let us know of anyone who's missed 4 or more meetings.
Okay.
Because I think that we might want to take some action at that point. It seems reasonable that would be, you should miss more than 25% of the meetings.
Well, when some people get to a point where they're rich and famous, they take a lot of vacations, you know?
That. So we need to read the names or no?
Yeah, I think we'll do it again. There's a motion, or should be, I don't know if there's a motion, but you did an informal vote, but you do need to pass a motion to approve the resolution which would appoint Fitzpatrick, O'Kelly, and Holliday to a 3-year term of the Planning and Zoning Board with Ms. Carter an alternate
It's
with
it's
a 3-year term.
Yeah.
Holiday, I'm sorry.
So be respectful too.
Commissioner Hurley made the motion before they decided to add Ms. Carter as a second alternate. So would he need to
Yeah, once you withdraw
Maybe
that.
do the motion, I'll
Okay.
take that one back and I'll make a new motion to approve with Mr. O'Kelly, Mr. Holliday, Mr. Fitzpatrick, and Ms. Carter as an alternate for a 3-year term.
Second.
Second. Move to proper second. Any discussion? Discussion from the public. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hurley,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison.
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Time to do it again. 5F is a resolution appointing 3 members to the Leesburg Historic Preservation Board for a 3-year term. Do you have a motion to introduce the resolution?
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, appointing 3 members to the Leesburg Historic Preservation Board and providing an effective date.
Well, now we need to.
Ask those people.
Well, we got.
Yeah, you've got some, let's go through the list here.
We got
If-
4,
if-
because Mr. O'Kelly is on the planning and zoning, so he can't be on the historic preservation. So
Yeah, so here's the lot that you have to choose from for Historic Preservation Board who have not served yet.
You want to
I got it.
make it easy for you right there.
Oh, there you go. Gloria Ann Foz, Stuart Kaplan, Jeffrey Onest, Merle Skinner, and that's it. And you need
Do any of them live outside of Leesburg?
3 of those
Trying to
4.
whittle it down.
You need 4? Dan said we need 4.
You 4, because John's moving over.
Right, so I got,
This was one of them.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So first I heard I couldn't be on both boards.
That's correct, right, Fred?
That's right.
Okay.
Well, you want to be, don't tell you want to be on the historic preservation.
You want to pick which one you want to be on?
What's your favorite?
Historic preservation, which I thought I'd still be on, so.
Okay.
I'll try something for you. I'm not planning, so. Okay.
All right.
Miss Vicky, would you like to try your hand at Dizzles? I was
Sure.
I mean, but seriously, I think if the people that planning and zoning are here and want to apply for the historic preservation board, I'd be open to that.
Absolutely.
You like preservation, Miss Vicky?
Make 5. They ain't gonna try to make it harder. We already
Jay
got.
started.
Yeah,
So Dan, the agenda says 3, you're saying 4. So do we need 3 or do we need 4?
Thought we needed 3
You're-
plus Mr.
Because Mr. O'Kelly is moving to planning,
Oh, he was already on the historic
he was already
preservation
on the
board.
historic board, that creates the need for 4. We actually have 4 applicants.
So we have 4.
He's on this list.
That's
as
not
one
what
of the
you're, that's not what,
expirations.
it's 3.
And his time does expire. That is correct.
So he's a current board member now?
He's a current board member of the
His term
Historic
expired.
Preservation Board and would remain so until September 30, at which time he would switch over to planning and
So
zoning.
it's 3. 3 is your number. 3.
Dan looking at me like we need 4, so.
You can't kick Mr. Kelly off twice, Dan. He can only come off.
His term expires in September,
Yes.
the end of September.
So that would create,
So-
so that would create a 4th slot. Is that what you're
Well, no,
saying?
that would be the 3, because it's his spot and then 2.
It's
Yes.
3.
It's 3.
Yeah.
It's 3 is what we did the resolution.
Mr. O'Kelly's been fired and hired tonight.
If you need a 4th, come back and see us. So we need 3 slots. Per the resolution, we have 4 applicants.
I don't know who,
We have Gloria Ann Foss.
Yeah, read those names again. You have 4 names plus Vicky, ma'am, I forgot your last name. So Commissioner
Lingerfeld.
Hurley threw Ms. Landfelt in there.
And does Mr. Kaplan still want to do that? He withdrew from the planning. Okay.
So Andy, read the 5 names.
So we have Gloria Ann Foss, Stuart Kaplan, Jeffrey Onst, Merle Skinner, and Vicki Lingerfeld.
okay, I'd like to make mine for Miss Vicky.
Mine would be Mr. Kaplan. You're an architect, correct?
I'm sorry?
You're an architect?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Can we just give you the 3 we want so we
Yeah.
don't have to keep doing this?
Yeah, you got 3?
Yeah.
As long as they don't come out the same.
Gloria Ann, Skinner, and Miss Vicky.
I tell you what, let's
She's doing your
vote
list.
on it like we did before. Is that what you're doing, Andy?
I'm
Yeah, she's
trying,
doing your
let's
list,
see,
yeah.
Foss,
'Cause I can't
Skinner,
remember.
Lingerfeld, Onst. Someone was- Kaplan. So I got 5.
And let me see-
Okay.
Let me see the names.
Okay.
Okay, so Ms.
Let's do-
Dennison, you
hold
included
on a
here?
second. Let's
Okay.
have a couple people do this so we get it right.
Foss,
She had Foss, Skinner. Who was your 3rd one?
Lingerfeld. Was it Vicky Lingerfeld?
Vicky.
It was Lingerfeld. This one.
Mr. Hurley, you got your 3 yet?
Hold on a second.
Oh.
You are Vicky, Foss, and Skinner.
Skinner.
What were your 3?
So Miss Vicky, Mr. Yellow Shirt,
Kaplan.
Kaplan.
Foss, Skinner, or Onst.
I'll have to wait on the 3rd. I'm not really.
You need to come back. You owe us a 3rd.
Okay, we'll come back to
I
you.
gotta wait
Okay.
on.
Commissioner
Gotta
Roebuck?
pray about it.
I'm Lingerfeld, Kaplan, and Skinner.
And Skinner. Commissioner Peterson?
Same 3 as Dan.
Kaplan and Skinner.
Skinner,
Kaplan,
Lingerfeld,
Skinner, and
Kaplan.
Vicky.
Okay, and then Commissioner Hurley?
it's not.
Are you done yet?
Come back to him.
Okay, well, okay.
You owe us 3.
All right, Mayor
Okay, I'm
Christian?
gonna get Gloria Ann Foss,
Okay.
Mr. Kaplan, Vicky Lingerfield, you going 100%, so I'm gonna go with Vicky Lingerfield since she's batting 100.
Okay. And then back to you, we need one more. You've
That
got
gonna be the
Mr.
deal breaker.
Oinst,
It looks like
Skinner,
you're
or
the,
Foss.
Oh, you're gonna be the deal breaker on that third one, buddy.
Who's false?
Gloria Ann.
Skinner.
Alright, so you got 2 to 4 to 4 to 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Foss 2, Kaplan 4, Skinner 4, and
Lingerfeld.
Lingerfield 5. So the top 3 are Kaplan, Skinner, and Lingerfield. So you need a motion for those 3.
So moved.
We have a second. Moving to proper second. Any discussion from the commission, from the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Okay. Information reports, the financial reports as of June 2019. Anything to update us on, Mr. Minner, for June 2019 financial report?
I think we could prove we count well this evening, so nothing on the financial report either.
All right. City attorney items.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you, sir. City manager items.
Nothing.
Public comment. This section reserved for members of the public to bring up matters of concern or opportunities for praise. Issues brought up will not be discussed in detail at this meeting. Issues will be either referred to the proper staff or be scheduled for consideration at a future city commission meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. Are there any public comment tonight? If not, we'll go to roll call. Roll call, ma'am.
Commissioner Peterson?
In the last meeting, we spoke about the ski beach, the hours of operation, the lights and so forth. And I had asked if there was signage down there, and there used to be a sign back when the hours were 10 p.m. There was a sign at the gate that said park closes at 10. There's a sign over by the first bridge, so you don't see it when you drive in.
Yeah, I
It has
see it either.
5 different items on it. It says park closes at 11. So I think we need to address the
We'll get the
hours.
operation sign up. I noticed that too.
Okay, I told you I don't like signs, but I think people they need to know when the park closes when they drive in. And it was there for years until we redid Ski Beach. And then, I know residents have been complaining about the lights staying on late. Well, I looked at it, the timer is, if the park's open until, whatever it is, whether it's 10 or 11, there's a 4-hour timer. I didn't know if there was a way to turn the lights off whatever time we decide to close the park or put a timer on there for an hour. But the complaint is if they play volleyball till 10, somebody turns the timer on for 4 hours, the place is lit up till 2 a.m.
We'll make sure it's.
So I just wanted to bring
Well,
that
you
to
could put
everybody.
another box on
Yeah,
there that would just kill power at 10.
Yep.
So I don't know if we're going to make that decision tonight or not on
No,
hours.
we'll get, you guys did it the last one. I'll get it
Oh,
posted.
we did? I
Yeah.
thought we tabled it.
You said the discussion there was to have everything shut down at 10 and have the police enforce that.
Yeah, I have seen more police.
That was,
through there, which
that
is
was the
great.
discussion. We advised that we did have an operation sign up there, but we do not. You're correct. We have it up by one of the bridges, but not the new main entry sign.
Okay, I
where we have
apologize
the
for
new.
confusion. I
So
thought Jay tabled it over wanting to talk to the
we'll
volleyball
get,
players.
right, so we'll get an hours operational sign up at the main entryway.
Yes.
And we'll get, make sure the lights are off at 10.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Roebuck?
I think I brought this up before, but I don't know if we looked at it yet. At 3rd and Meadow, it's right back there. It's a 2-way stop, but it seems people think it's a 4-way stop and causes some confusion. It seems like it maybe should be, yeah, right there by the armory. That it maybe should be a 4-way stop, but I don't want to say just do that. If we could maybe pull like the crash data and see if it's a problem or I'm just imagining it. And then the other thing I had was, if you noticed in the newspaper, but they're now talking about a homeless shelter in Leesburg, and the Salvation Army was offered property in Astatula in a very central, not near any one place by the county, and they kind of said they don't like it. So I know Al has a meeting coming up with other city managers, and I just think it would be good if we set money aside that let him know it's okay to say if you're talking about putting it here right in Leesburg there, that money would not be available, which I wouldn't want it to go to that.
Well, they couldn't pick here without our approval anyway.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they could.
For the homeless shelter?
Yeah, it's already zoned that way for the Salvation Army. Yeah. Unfortunately. So, I think hopefully if we just, push back, that will be enough, and we don't have to try. Otherwise, I don't know. Is everyone okay without kind of taking that
I
stance?
think we really need to take a stance because you're also talking about Lake County, and they said northern Lake County for the children that have been taken from their parents coming across the border. So that could be somebody else coming here. So we need to take a stance now.
So, and the thing is, by having live stream here, we're already doing more than our fair share, plus all the other services that are provided in Leesburg.
I agree.
Okay.
Yep, I agree.
That's it.
Commissioner Hurley?
Not much. I just want to say today was really neat. We had the partnership between the Leesburg High School, Habitat for Humanity, Romac Lumber Company, and the city. And today they broke ground on what's going to be their first project in the new construction academy at the Leesburg High School, where we're starting to teach trade again to the kids and help them get careers for those who don't want to just go to college and think they have to have books. And it was a great show of support, not only from the different entities that were there, but just from the community as well. And I found out today they've already started another one. The school board's got on board with it. So I'd like to thank the commission for rallying behind this, and I'm excited about where this takes the school and our students. That's it for me.
Mr. Dennison?
Just one thing, the census is coming out in 2020, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about it. There was only 28% of most of Florida responding to the census. That affects seriously the money coming from the state for schools, for any other projects, as well as money from the the federal government. So I'll be talking about the census. It's only to take numbers. It's not big government. It's not anything else. But if we don't have census that have decent numbers, we're affecting the pay and whatnot coming back into Leesburg and Lake County. So just want to alert you to that fact. There's some changes coming.
Mayor Christian?
I just want to echo Commissioner Hurley and think today was a great day for Leesburg, and commend the commission and our staff for working with Habitat in high school. Hopefully this can be a yearly project for them, that we have a lot of infield lots that we can partner with the schools, and hopefully they understand that our partnership is something that's is beneficial for the students and for the school and for our city. So again, kudos to all that was there and our staff that supported, and to this commission for making that bold step to donate that lot, in a good spot. So I'm sure it'll be snatched up real quick. So that's all I have on tonight, and everybody have a wonderful, safe evening. Motion to adjourn.